All right. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Did you see that? I said Shabbat Shalom and poof, it popped up on the screen, Shabbat Shalom. That was amazing. What if I try this? Sandwiches. No, it didn't work.
I'm not ready for that one.
No. Cantor-Shapiro, this is so
Rabbi
exciting.
Eshel.
I'm so excited to be here with you.
I'm excited
I don't know.
too.
Last night's service was so beautiful. It really, right? I mean, it just flowed so nicely and it really felt so Shechianu and so hopeful.
Yeah.
It was great. And like now is a Shechianu because this is now, I guess it's your official first live stream service now as one team and
That is true.
and us as partners in all of this. This is wonderful. Shechianu v'kiyamanu v'giyanu l'zman hazeh.
Amen.
Amen. This is so beautiful. So shalom to everybody watching. Shalom to those who are going to be watching maybe a little bit later. Shalom also to Jess and Tess who are behind the scenes. This is so fantastic. I mean, how wonderful it is to get to be here together to celebrate Shabbat and celebrate being with all of our friends and family here. What do you think, Cantor-Shapiro?
I think it's really great to be together. And that was like the sense that I got from last night too. So why don't we start with a little togetherness feeling with Hine Matov.
I love that jam. That's such a great version. I've been hearing that a bunch. It's a lot of fun. My favorite way is also to hear like the kids when the kids are singing it too, right in the school. How good it is, how good it is, how sweet it is, how sweet it is. Right? It's so great with the kids.
It's very nice. It's very nice. That's a little Ilana Arian melody. She's a wonderful composer.
Phenomenal. Do I know any of her other stuff?
She has a fantastic Micha Mocha that I use.
Oh, great.
I'm not singing it today, but next time we're in services together, I'll make sure to bring that.
We don't want to give, everything, right? We got a little bit of taste because we're going to be together for many, 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 many years. So, we can take our time, right? We can take our time. And, speaking of being together for so many, many, many years to come, the next thing we're about to jump into, Nisim B'chol Yom, the miracles and the blessings of the everyday. But when I think about these things, these ideas of miracles and blessings, I think of all of them actually existing in potential. And it's up to us to actualize their fullest potential, right? And, people were talking about from the service last night and our vision and our journey together, now joining as one larger family, like, wow, this is a miracle. I can't believe it. Yeah, it's a miracle, but is taking and will take a lot of hard, fabulous, and delicious work, right? And so maybe like the miracle and the blessing is the inspiration that it's going to give us to create such beautiful experiences for our community and for each other. And you know, I know this sounds hyperbolic, but I don't believe it to be, really, for the world, because we're going to do some really beautiful things together. So with that, why don't we continue? Kenny Ratzon. Amen v'amen. Pamayim amen. Amsa aleinu. Why don't we continue now with a little Nisim B'chol Yom, the miracles and blessings of the everyday.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hama'avir shena me'einai u'tnuma me'afapai.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tzelem Elohim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani bat chorin.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani ir Yisrael.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael bigvura.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifara.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah.
Amen. You know what's also so cool about this is listening to your voice, right? Because it's a new partnership voice to me, which is just so beautiful, right? And it's this idea of the different ways to experience and enter into relationship with God and spirituality, right? Like what we're going to be doing next with Psalm 150. It talks about all the different kind of entry opportunities for praising God, and adding your phenomenal voice to this community. It's true. It's like just another wonderful opportunity to praise God, which is just so great. I think it's the same thing, like hanging out with Francie at the new people, new voices, new ideas. It's just like a fresh, interesting, and great way to enter into spirituality. So why don't we continue now with a little I'm just speaking the truth. Let's continue with a little Psalm 150.
בשופר, הללויה בנבל וכינור, הללויה בטוב ומבוא, הללויה במינים ועוגב. הללויה, 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 הללויה. הללויה בצלצלי שמה, הללויה בצלצלי תרועה, כל הנשמה תהלליה, כל הנשמה תהלליה. הללויה, 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 So if you're able to just take yourselves into maybe a new space, a space where we can not only just recognize the potential of the blessings that we bring into the world, but perhaps recognize that potential in ourselves, and to recognize the holiness of each moment as it unfolds, which is what we're asked to do during Baruch Hu, to recognize that God is in this place as we call upon God's name with the Baruch Hu. So if you'd like to, you can stand up physically if you're listening in at home, or just sit up a little straighter in your seat. Lai, 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 Baruch Hu et Adonai mevorach We continue with the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. And if you're standing, you can have a seat for Ve'ahavta. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך. וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך. וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. All right. So in a moment, we are going to continue with Micha Mocha, our Song of Freedom. Now, Song of Freedom. You know, when they were making their way across, and yes, I think they were also excited, but I think they were being swept up in the moment of, okay, here we go. Things are opening up. It's open. We got to get, okay, here we go. We're taking a little step, our step in and then through and then making it over to the other side. I kind of feel like we're being swept up in a moment like that right now, right? Especially here in Southern California where things are starting to open up again and people are they're ready, it feels like. Right, you put out there, oh, soon we're going to be having in-person services. Okay, here we go. And soon we're going to be able to be gathering together again. Or, I don't know, even sports. People are going to be going to Dodger Stadium and filling the stadium and going to SoFi Stadium. And that being swept up in that moment, and it's something that we want. It's almost as if we're like, wow, okay, when we're in it, how is that going to feel looking around? Are we going to feel a little nervous and scared? We're going to feel excited. We're going to feel hopeful. Going to feel like, we're doing the right thing, right? I think it's all of those things wrapped up together. And any kind of moving from confinement to a feeling of freedom, I think is going to always have that. And we see that in our tradition as well, right? It wasn't that the Israelite people were feeling, yeah, it isn't the best. No, there were all of these feelings as we make our way through freedom. But the most important part of it is that just keep going. Take what you've got and keep going, building on it, move through it. Just like our ancestors did. Micha Mocha, our Song of Freedom.
Micha Mocha b'elim Adonai, Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora teilot osef eleh, nora teilot osef eleh. Shira chadasha shebechu gehulim, v'shimcha al sefat hayam. יחד כולם עבדו, והמליכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך.
Beautiful. we're going to jump right now into the Amidah. So if you are at home and you would, if you're at home, well, you're going to be somewhere that's not in my garage, I think. If you would like to rise as we continue with the Amidah, or like Cantor Shapiro mentioned earlier, we could just sit up a little taller in our seats as we continue with the Amidah.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov. Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava. Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen. Baruch Ata Adonai, Magen Avraham Vezrat Sarah. Ata Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Ata Rav Lehoshia. Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofech Olim, Umatir Hasurim. Umekayem emunato lishenei afar michamocha bal gevurot umidam melach melech memit umechaye umatzmiach Yeshua. V'ne'eman ata lehachayot hakol. Baruch ata Adonai mechayei hakol.
We now take a few moments for Tfilat Halev, the prayers, meditations, and thoughts of your heart.
Yehiyu leratzon imrefi ve'egyon libi lefanecha
Wow, that was beautiful. I've never heard that one.
You know what? That one's also Alana Arian.
Whoa. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that one. I love that. And man, I thought I heard all of those UU Rod songs. Nope, that's not it. That's not even remotely true. That's not even remotely true. That was
You should come
beautiful.
to my office, Rabbi Eshel, because I got a stack. I got a stack of UUs. I'll share them. It's the stuff I get super nerdy and excited about. So I'll share them all with you.
I love that. That's beautiful. All right. So with that, you know what? I think we're just going to jump right in. We're going to continue now with our Torah service.
Please join me in the blessings. Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You do it.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. וידבר אדוני אל משה לאמור, שלח לך אנשים ויתורו את ארץ כנען אשר אני נותן לבני ישראל, איש אחד למטה אבותיו תשלחו כל נשיא בהם. וישלח אותם משה ממדבר פרען על פי אדוני כולם אנשים ראשי בני ישראל המה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. Wow, Yasher Koach, Kol HaKavod. I'm telling you, this is one of my favorite Torah portions. Here we are, Shalach Lecha, because we made it. We made it to the promised land. We did. Huh? What do you mean we made it to the promised land? Didn't we just, receive the Torah, left Egypt, and everything like that? What are you talking about? Yes. Little known fact. Well, not actually a little known fact, but maybe not necessarily always recognized fact. We made it to the promised land actually quite soon after our liberation. But here we are at the edge, and people are like, yeah, let's go. And then Moses is like, oh, wait, hold on. Everybody just wait a minute, right? Before we go in, all just like willy-nilly running into the promised land, we're going to send some people to go check it out first, right? So we can go in orderly, we can check things out, or we could do it right. So Moses, as Spencer-Shapiro beautifully chanted, sent one person from all of the tribes, so these scouts, to go in and check out the land. So we'll talk about that again in a second. But here's what I want us to do now. Cantor-Shapiro, if you don't mind jumping back onto the screen with me. And all right, I'm going to try something. I'm doing an audible here. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see here. Hold on. Boom. Ready? I'm doing it.
I'm ready.
Jess and Tess are like, what's he doing? All right. Right. Here's what I want us to do. Boom. All right. Check it out.
I see both.
What is it? You see both what? What is that? I don't even know what that is. What is that?
It's a dunny.
I don't know. What's a dunny with you? Hey, what's a dunny?
It's a duck and a bunny, or like
It's
a
a duck and a
seagull.
bunny.
Yeah.
So
I see both at the same time.
You see both at the same time. Jess,
Yeah.
what do you see both at the same time? Do you see a bunny and a duck, Jess? Yeah, Jess, I'm talking to you. You don't have to come on the screen. Okay, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Bunny.
You only see a bunny? Bonnie, and then she's gone. Come back, Jess. Come back. Come back for a second. Come back.
Here I am. Hi.
Hi,
Do you
Jess.
see a bunny? You only see a bunny?
Okay. Now I see something else on the other side.
What do you see?
Of like a long-beaked duck or a bird.
Long-beaked duck or bird? Okay, we got a bird, a duck. So, but your first inclination was bunny, and Spencer-Shapiro was a dunny or a buck, right? Or a buck. I don't know. Tess, what about you? Tess, what do you see?
Hi, I see a bunny too. Same as Jess.
You don't see a duck?
I see a duck too, but only after you pointed it out.
But only after I pointed it out. Wow.
All right, I'm
phenomenal. Go. This is okay. You're gonna go now. Fine. That's okay too. That's good. Yeah. So, yeah, we have a bunny or a duck, and Cantor-Shapiro was able to see both of them at the same time, right? But at first, Jess, Tess were like, "Well, I see that bunny," but only after you pointed it out did I also see a duck.
Rabbi Eshel, I want to know which one you saw.
Well, that's a great question. The first time I saw this picture, I saw a duck, but then I saw a bunny. But I was like, no, there's no bunny there. Duck. That's just the duck. I'm only thinking duck. Duck, 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 the duck, duck, the duck. Just a duck. That's it. The other people were like, I don't even see a duck. All I see is a bunny. Bunny, 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 bunny. That's it. Bunny. Nothing but a bunny. No duck, just bunny. But then after, people were digging in. They're like, no, I only see this. But you could tell then, even after they were digging in, they were like, all right, yes, I see it. I see it both. Ha, ha, ha. Funny, 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 Rabbi Eshel. Great. But this picture, yes, I know, it's kind of funny, but it is so powerful to me, especially with this Torah portion. And even more so over the last year, because I started thinking about it a little bit differently. At first, okay, well, we'll talk about it in terms of the Torah portion. So, right, we sent the 12 people in. Moses sent the 12 people in, and they were waiting and waiting and waiting 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. And they're like, where are these guys? When are they coming back? 40 days later, before like Moses and the people, they were freaking out, where are these people? They come walking back, right? 40 days they spent in the promised land. And as they're walking back, everybody runs up to them and they're like, so how was it? Was it amazing? Was it beautiful? Is it really just like everything that God promised? This is going to be our new home. This is amazing. Tell us. And 10 of the 12 people were just kind of sitting there with their heads down like this. And Moses and the people are like, what? What's the tell us, how was it? And they looked at the people and they said, that place is terrible. Yeah, that place is terrible. They have giants living in there. There are giant people living in that land. And we go in there, they're going to squish us like grasshoppers. They're going to squish us like bugs. They're like, wait. And all the people start freaking out. No, take us back to Egypt, Moses. Why did you take us out of Egypt just to get squashed like a bug, like a grasshopper here in this place? And everybody's freaking out, except, what did I say? Only 10 of the 12. The other 2, Joshua and Caleb, they were looking at each other going, huh? What? Huh? You know what these guys are talking about? I don't know what these guys are talking about. The land looked great to me. It was beautiful. This was a land flowing with milk and honey. Yes, fine. There was some taller people there, but look, everybody's going to look taller to us. We're Jewish. We're not a tall people. I mean, I don't know. Actually, Cantor-Shapiro, we were noticing last night, is rather tall. Right? Cantor Lisa is quite tall. Cantor Gurney, not so much. I think he is, the norm when it comes to that. But anyway, I digress. So People are freaking out. Joshua and Caleb like, no, this place is going to be amazing. This place is fabulous. It is a land flowing with milk and honey. That very famous line. Now, how could this be? The 12 people were both in the same place, experiencing the same exact thing, seeing the same exact thing. Yet some of them said it was awful and terrible, and the others said it was amazing and beautiful, right? Some of them said it was a bunny. It's a bunny. It's a bunny. The other one said, no, this is a duck. This is a duck, right? They weren't able to see, even Joshua and Caleb, maybe, I'm not sure. They weren't able to see both at the same time. And this is where, for me personally, I kind of evolved with this story over the last year, right? Because really it's about perspective. The 10 people, and along with all the other Israelites, they weren't ready for the promised land. They still had on them this serious, heavy yoke of freedom and of slavery on their shoulders, right? That they just experienced. And they weren't ready to use that as a way of pulling them out of that situation, right? But Joshua and Caleb, they were like, okay, yeah, that's what our life was like there. Our life is going to be a lot better now, moving into the promised land. But my question to them is, did they forget what their life was like? I don't know. Are they forgetting what their life was like? Are they denying what their life was like prior? Right? Are they denying the bunny and only seeing the duck? Right? And that's what, for me, on a couple of levels that I want to share. So Monday morning, I am moving up to our summer camps, Campus Kramer, Giving Hilltop Camp, clap, clap, but not in our actual home. It's our temporary home, right? Our actual home. When we were watching the silent prayer a little earlier, and we see the beautiful ocean kind of coming in, it really reminds me of camp, because we know, for many of us, we know that our camps in 2018 were destroyed by the fires, and is really painful and devastating. And so many of us were like, well, it's over, right? It's done. But others were like, nah, it's okay. The place doesn't matter. Camp is going to be everywhere. Camp is going to be anywhere that we bake it and build it, right? It's a duck. Oh, it's a duck. It's over. It's a duck. No, what are you talking about? It's a bunny. It's absolutely, it's going to be perfect. And that was my feeling for a while, right? But then in doing that, I realized by solely looking at one, I was denying the other. Because the thing is, both of them exist at the same time, right? The yoke of slavery with the hope of freedom, right, can exist at the same time. It's just a matter of not letting one completely destroy the other. Same thing with camp. There's somebody like, oh, the place doesn't matter. No, you know what? The place does also matter. Right? Because it's the place that gives us the opportunity to create those experiences of camp. And we are so very lucky that this year we found a beautiful place up in Idlewild, where we're going to be up there at a camp, in an actual campsite. But again, it is temporary, but it gives us the opportunity to keep going, and to work on our camp community. And by acknowledging the existence of both, actually gives me strength to say, I'm not going to deny our past. I'm going to learn from our past, and I'm going to use that to help me build a future. And over these last even then few weeks, with the pain we were feeling and continue to feel with the rise in anti-Semitism, the war in Israel, and the war with Hamas, right? And so much of the memes and the TikToks and the Instagram, all the, everybody just making these snap decisions because of images, one image at a time, reading a headline, not actually learning history, not actually delving into what's really happening on the ground, that it's not just one against another. It's not duck and it's not bunny, but there's like also so many different types of ducks and so many different types of bunnies. And the truth is, they all exist at the same time. I'm not going to deny another person's truth, right? In order to make my truth the sole truth, and vice versa, right? another truth I really believe is that the duck and the bunny, they exist at the same time, just like Cantor-Shapiro said. They exist at the same time. And until we really embrace that and understand that, we're still going to just be in so much continuous conflict and pain, right? What happened to the Israelites? Well, I said they made it to the promised land right away. How long were they in there for, those 12 people? 40 days. Because they came out and they were like, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. Their consequence is for every day that they were in the promised land, the scouts, the Israelites were going to have to wander for a year as a people. That's where we get wandering in the wilderness for 40 years. It wasn't just like, where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? No. It's because we needed that, and it was going to take a long time. But by taking a long time as it did, it allowed them to eventually, spoiler alert, make it to the promised land. By acknowledging that truths, multiple truths exist. Look, this is going to take a long time, but I really believe with my heart, right, that we will make it together to a promised land of peace, coexistence, and really build something beautiful together. So with that, I want to say Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And it's a really good opportunity for us to move into our prayer for healing. Misha Berach, prayer for healing, right? If you were thinking of anyone today, right? If you're thinking of anyone today who may be in need of healing, whether that's spiritual healing or physical healing or mental healing, right? In our personal lives, in our community, in our congregation, in our city, in our town, in our country, in our world, you can offer those in the chat if you would like, or hold them in your heart as we continue with a Misha Berach prayer for healing.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
So we're going to continue now with Aleinu, but Cantor-Shapiro, do you want to share the beautiful, I'm going to call it a midrash on Aleinu that you are offering us today?
So this is a poem by Maya Angelou that I love to offer as an alternative Aleinu, and it's called Continue. And I'm not sure that Maya Angelou is even familiar with the words of the Aleinu. She may be, but when I read this poem, it really speaks to me as to what the words of Aleinu are all about for our people and for people all over the world.
So without further ado, Maya Angelou's continue. Into a world which needed you, my wish for you is that you continue.
Continue to be who and how you are, to astonish a mean world with your acts of kindness.
Continue to allow humor to lighten the burden of your tender heart.
Continue in a society dark with cruelty to let the people hear the grandeur of God in the peals of your laughter.
Continue to let your eloquence elevate the people to heights they had only imagined.
Continue to remind the people that each is as good as the other and that no one is beneath nor above you.
Continue to remember your own young years and look with favor upon the lost and the least and the lonely.
Continue to put the mantle of your protection around the bodies of the young and defenseless.
Continue to take the hand of the despised and diseased and walk proudly with them in the high street. Some might see you and be encouraged to do likewise.
Continue to plant a public kiss of concern on the cheek of the sick and the aged and infirm, and count that as a natural action to be expected.
Continue to let gratitude be the pillow upon which you kneel to say your nightly prayer, and let faith be the bridge you build to overcome evil and welcome good.
Continue to ignore no vision which comes to enlarge your range and increase your spirit.
Continue to dare to love deeply and risk everything for the good thing.
Continue to float happily in the sea of infinite substance, which set aside riches for you before you had a name.
Continue, and by doing so, you and your work will be able to continue eternally. And let us all say amen.
Amen.
Wow, that was beautiful. Cantor-Shapiro, thank you so much for introducing me to this poem and bringing us to our community. This is fantastic. So now, oh wait, here we go. Go away, duck. Go away, bunny. Well, before we begin to conclude, just a few announcements. There's so many phenomenal and wonderful things coming up. I'm just going to say, please, please, please check your emails, your daily emails. We're getting so much information, and you can even go to our website, www.btla.org/WBT at home, right? Join our online programming and events. But check them out. And if you're not getting the emails, make sure you go onto the website and email us from the website. Say, hey, I'm not getting the emails. Can you hook me up? And also for those of you who may not be members yet, keyword being yet, we are always looking, welcome. Our arms are open to any and all who would like to come and join our growing community. So you can also find all that information on the website. And I do want to give a very special plug, but I'm going to turn it over to Cantor-Shapiro for something that we could all use a little bit more of in our life, maybe.
So this late afternoon at 5 o'clock, from 5 to about 6:30, and most Saturdays. Oh, look at that beautiful graphic. Thank you so much. We have Torah Yoga, which I have the pleasure of leading with an amazing yoga teacher. His name is Amit Hari, and he brings the asana teaching, the teaching of the poses, and also some yoga philosophy that is juxtaposed with words of Torah. So we learn about these two traditions side by side, and then also we go through the asanas, through the poses to embody this teaching. So it's very experiential. It's not book learning. It's really kind of physically embodying what we're learning. It's also a really nice way to get some physical action happening in your day and feel really good about that. And also some, it's both, it's intellectual, spiritual, and physical all happening at the same time. Feels good.
That's amazing.
So
we should add that into Psalm 150. Hallelujah, God. Right? That'd be great. Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, our yoga
Wow.
teacher is also a jazz guitarist, so he would fit right into the hallelujah. He has an instrument to bring into the mix as well.
Oh, beautiful. Awesome. Yeah. Try that. So nice. Now with that, we're going to take the opportunity to transition into moments of remembrance. In a moment, we'll continue and you will see the names. The first names you will see on the screen are those who have died in the past 30 days, the past shloshim from our community, followed by those who the yortzeit, the memorial of their death, fell during this past week. Ruth Borden, Warren Allen Goldberg, Elaine Goldsmith, Gary Kelson, John Mills, Don Schwartz, Dorothy Strauss, Shimon Aftalion, Dale Alcove, Albert Altman, Harold Band, Max Block, Sophia Nance Chappelle Vane, Edward Court, Sadie Crystal, Nisha Dane, Mary Edelstein, Bessie Enton, Gloria Farkas, Harry Feldman, Pearl Feller, Marcia Finkel, Jerry Fishman, Terry Ann Fox Tree, Dorothy Gerstein, Lori Gompers, Helen Grubard, Evelyn Greenbaum, Charles Greenwald, Joanne Greenwald, Harold Gross, Herbert Haas, Molly Haas, Sidney Hoffman, Rose Katzenhorn, Blanche Isaacson Pullman, Sarah Eisenberg, Louis Iskowitz, Edith Jarretts, William Cates, Ernest Kerr, Jack Kirschenbaum, Barbara Kaiser, Alan Koppelman, Deborah Landau, Brett Lawrence, Robert Leff, Belle Lerman, Sam Levin, Gerald Mark Levine, Elaine Rosencrantz-Lieberman, Devorah Levine, Ann Lubin, Samuel Lubliner, Catherine Lutz, Harriet Maltzman, Max Margolis, Louis Maldo, Ariel Moore, Evelyn Sachs Morgan, Doris Orlinkoff, Joan Pansky, Earl Pash, Michael Phillips, Kenneth Randall, Robert Reen, Herbert Rose Sr., Albert Rosenblatt, Sidney Rosenfield, Iris Trebach Rower, Mike Ruby, Jerome Saperstein, Gustav Schiller, Lily Schiller, Victor Schiller, Charlotte Schwarzenberger, Herbert Shapiro, Lloyd Shapoff, Leslie Scherer, Samuel Schaumstein, Harry Silver, Gina Spiro, George Topus, Joan Travis, Judah Turcotte, Jerry Wendy Turtle, Lou Wasserman, Alex Weiskopf, Jay Weiss, Arlene Weeder, Suzanne Wolf, Anne Woolwand, Dorothy Zinberg. We add to all of those names those who have died defending the United States of America, all of those who have died defending the state of Israel. We also add to those names all of those who have died as senseless acts of terror and hatred around the world. We add to all of those names those who have died to COVID-19. We add to those names all of those who have no one to say the mourner's Kaddish, the mourner's prayer for them. And finally, if you are thinking of anyone else today, or if I have mispronounced a name that you know of, please feel free to either add them to the chat and or say them in your hearts. And with that, we continue with the Mourner's Kaddish, Kaddish Tom. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala ubizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam omel maya. Yitparach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'al v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei dekudesha barichu. Le'elal min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Beautiful. May the one who makes peace make peace for us, for all Israel and all humanity. And let us all say Amen.
Amen.
All right, so now before we jump into a little Kiddush and Motzi, also let's just say a big Shabbat Shalom and thank you to Jess and Tess who are working behind the scenes to make all of this come alive. And Cantor Shapiro, we did it! First one in the books! How wonderful! I love it. Mazel
Rabbi
tov to you and
Eshel,
mazel tov to us,
it's
actually.
great to be with you. Really great to be
Awesome.
with you.
Yeah. Well, the feeling's mutual. All right, we would do a Kiddush and Motzi. What do we think?
It sounds good to me.
Okay.
We're gonna. Do you have good? I'm glad you have something. You're gonna hold it up for us.
Ta-da!
Thank you. Even better. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
L'chaim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. B'tei avon, enjoy your challah. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shalom. And there it is.
Yeah, and there it is.
Shabbat
And there it
shalom.
is. I love it. Shabbat shalom, everyone.